Welcome to Standard Chartered Money Insights, a podcast series by Standard Chartered Bank that brings you market views and insights on the go.
Welcome to the 14th episode of our InvesTips from the CIO's Desk series. I'm Steve Brice, Standard Chartered Bank's Global Chief Investment Officer and the host for this series. Today we're going to talk about how to overcome procrastination by using the 5A framework. We all know there are things that we should do in life in general, as well as when it comes to planning our finances. However, we procrastinate. This may be due to the fear of failure or looking foolish. But we know that investing as soon as possible makes achieving our financial goals much easier. Meanwhile, we also know that if we make mistakes earlier in life, we'll have more time to recover, and it's better to learn when the size of investment is smaller. Therefore, we also know that procrastination is bad. Now, one approach to addressing procrastination is the 5A framework, which is authenticate insights, analyze, act, assess progress, and then adapt and iterate. So the first stage is to authenticate insights. For instance, you might examine what the impact of inflation is on savings if you don't start investing. Over long periods of time, inflation can have extremely damaging effects on the purchasing power of your savings, and understanding this is the first step to taking action. Then you look at the different potential investments and what the long-term historical returns have been. Now, nobody knows what's going to happen in the future, but I'm a huge fan of saying that history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes, especially over long periods of time. Second, you analyze different scenarios. For instance, going back to inflation, since 1975, US inflation has averaged 3.7%. But for 20 years, from 2000 to 2020, it was 2.1%, and from 1975 to 1990, it was 6.1%. So get the long-term data for your country and see how it fluctuates. For instance, if you live in Asia, the currency devaluations of the Asian financial crisis led to a sharp spike in inflation in the late 1990s, but was likely under control for much of the past 20 to 25 years. Then comes the act stage. The key thing is to start. You've done some analysis, it's not been exhaustive, but you have a sense of how you're going to approach it. Dip your toe in first, rather than going all in. My favourite approach is to have a target investment allocation for 2 years' time and an understanding of how you intend to get there. For instance, a simple way would be to invest 5% of your money every month. This helps smoothen out both the performance as well as your emotions. The fourth stage is assess your progress. Have you kept to the plan you outlined at the start? What are the results so far? Understand your emotions to the outcomes and whether the portfolio volatility is due to flaws in your investment approach or merely just normal market fluctuations. And then the final stage is adapt and iterate. Naturally, this is new to you. You will have made some mistakes and learnt about investing, but also about your relationships with gains and losses. So tweak your approach accordingly. The key is to ensure you keep invested over the long term and generate enough returns to beat inflation. So I hope you found this approach to beating procrastination useful. In the next episode, we will discuss how to pick a financial advisor that can help you ensure you stay on track and guide you through this 5A framework. Thanks again, and I look forward to catching up with you then.
Thank you for listening to Standard Chartered Money Insights, a podcast series by Standard Chartered Bank. For more details, visit Market Views on the Go on our website or click the link in the description.